I think somewhere along the way, I accidentally made my life too easy. Like, genuinely too easy. And the weird part is, I thought that was the goal. I thought becoming an adult meant slowly removing every inconvenience from your life until you finally became one of those people that had everything figured out. But lately I've noticed something kind of terrifying. The easier my life gets, the less alive I feel inside it. Like, okay, listen, I can order food without leaving my bed. I can watch 6 different people's lives while ignoring my own. I can spend an entire Sunday inside my apartment without speaking to a single human being and somehow still feel mentally exhausted afterwards. And I know this sounds dramatic, but I really think modern life has quietly turned us emotionally numb. And the crazy thing is nothing is technically wrong. That's what makes this feeling so hard to explain. I'm not talking about some huge tragic life crisis. I mean that weird, restless feeling. Like your brain is constantly searching for something, but you don't even know what it's looking for anymore. And I started realizing how much of my life is designed around avoiding even the smallest amount of discomfort. If I'm bored, I scroll. If I feel awkward, I grab my phone. If I'm hungry, I order something. And at first, that sounds amazing, right? Because obviously convenience is nice. I'm not trying to romanticize suffering. I'm not about to move into the woods and start churning butter. But I do think humans accidentally created a lifestyle our brains don't fully know how to exist in. There's actually a scientific term for this called evolutionary mismatch. Basically, our bodies and brains evolved for one type of environment, but modern life changed faster than we did. So now our nervous systems are trying to process a world that looks absolutely nothing like the one humans evolved in for thousands and thousands of years. Like, imagine explaining modern life to your ancestors. Yeah, so sometimes I stare at a glowing rectangle for 4 hours straight consuming information that makes me insecure while sitting completely still and eating sour cream flavored chips. They would genuinely think we were cursed. Humans used to walk constantly. They had to do physical things just to survive. They had real boredom, real silence, real waiting. Even socially, life was different. If you wanted connection, you actually had to go outside and interact with people. You couldn't just watch everybody else living through a screen while sitting alone in sweatpants eating DoorDash fries. And I think that's part of why so many people feel emotionally flat now. Our brains are overstimulated but undernourished at the same time. Because dopamine is supposed to help motivate us toward meaningful rewards. But now we get tiny dopamine hits from literally everything. Scroll, snack, refresh, text, shop, swipe, and repeat. Your brain never fully rests anymore. It's constantly being fed by stimulation all day long. And eventually normal life starts feeling too quiet. That's why reading feels harder. That's why people can't watch movies without checking their phones. That's why silence feels uncomfortable now. That's why being alone with your thoughts for 5 minutes suddenly feels emotionally threatening. I saw this study saying most people check their phones without even getting a notification, which honestly made me feel attacked because why do I unlock my phone and immediately forget why I picked it up like I'm some confused Victorian child seeing technology for the first time? But seriously, I think we're all searching for something. We just keep looking for it in places designed to keep us distracted instead of fulfilled. And then I started noticing something else. The moments where I actually felt good, like genuinely present and connected to my own life, were almost never the easiest moments. It was never when I spent 6 straight hours consuming content. It was random things. Walking somewhere instead of driving. Having a long conversation at night. Cooking while music played in the background. Going outside early in the morning when the world still felt quiet. Taking a shower and not bringing my phone into the bathroom like a tiny emotional support device. Even stupid little things, like sitting in a cafe alone without immediately trying to escape the silence. Or going on a walk without headphones, which sounds small until you actually try it and realize your brain starts acting like it's being held hostage after 30 seconds. And I think that's the problem. We removed almost every tiny challenge from daily life. We made everything smoother, faster, easier, more convenient. But humans kind of need a little resistance. Not endless suffering, just friction. Small moments where your brain actually has to engage with reality instead of constantly escaping it. Because honestly, I think a huge amount of modern unhappiness comes from never fully being present anymore. anywhere. You're watching Netflix while scrolling TikTok, while texting somebody, while thinking about work. Your brain never lands. It just hovers over life instead of entering it. And then people wonder why they feel disconnected all the time. I also think the internet completely destroyed our understanding of self-improvement. Everything has become so extreme now. Every video is like, wake up at 4 a.m. to become elite. Meanwhile, half of us are just trying to drink enough water and answer our emails before they spiritually expire. And I fell for that mindset too. I kept thinking changing my life had to be dramatic. New routine, new journal, new era, new personality. But every time I tried to transform myself overnight, I failed within like 4 business days. Because real change is honestly way less exciting than the internet makes it look. It's tiny things. It's choosing not to scroll the second you wake up. It's going outside even when you don't feel like it. It's texting your friend back instead of isolating yourself for 3 days because replying somehow started feeling emotionally overwhelming. It's doing the uncomfortable conversation. It's sitting with boredom for a minute instead of instantly reaching for stimulation. And none of these moments look impressive online. Nobody's making cinematic montages about taking a walk and washing your dishes immediately afterwards. But weirdly, those tiny moments changed me more than any huge life reset ever did. Because I think confidence actually comes from self-trust. And self-trust is built through evidence. Tiny evidence. Over and over. Every time you do something slightly uncomfortable, your brain notices. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a tiny one, your brain notices that too. And slowly you stop feeling so disconnected from yourself. Not because your life became perfect. Mine definitely didn't. I still procrastinate. I still doom scroll. I still avoid difficult emails for an unnecessary amount of time. I still order food when I'm too lazy to cook. I'm not sitting here as some enlightened monk that drinks chlorophyll water and journals on a balcony at sunrise. But I do notice things now. I notice when I'm overstimulated. I notice when I'm using content to avoid my own thoughts. I notice when I haven't gone outside enough. And honestly, awareness changes a lot. Because once you realize your nervous system was never designed for this level of non-stop stimulation, you stop blaming yourself so much for feeling weird all the time. And no, I'm not saying everybody should suddenly reject modern life and become a wilderness survival expert. I like convenience. I like delivery apps. I like being able to rot in bed sometimes and watch terrible reality TV while eating snacks. But I also think there's a version of us underneath all this stimulation that misses being fully awake. And maybe that's why the moments we remember most are never the easiest ones. It's the random drive at night with your friend, the hard conversation, the trip that went wrong but became funny later, the walk home after crying, the workout you almost skipped, the scary decision. Those moments feel real because you were actually there for them. So lately I've been trying to stop escaping my own life every 5 seconds. Not perfectly, just a little more often. And weirdly, things started feeling warmer again. Food tastes better when I'm not watching 3 videos while eating it. Music sounds better when my brain isn't fried. Conversations feel deeper when I'm fully paying attention. Even going outside feels different when I'm not treating every moment of silence like an emergency. I don't think humans were meant to feel comfortable every second of the day. I think we were meant to feel alive. And those are not the same thing at all. So that's all for today. See you in the next one. Bye.